Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Beginners Mistakes in Photoshop. The goal of this episode is to help new users of Photoshop get accustomed to how the software works and to help them speed up their design works. In today's episode, we're going to be exploring different shortcuts you should be using now to speed up your designs. Without further ado, let's dive in. The zoom tool. The zoom tool is used when you want to zoom into an object or when you want to zoom out from an object. To use the zoom tool, the shortcut is Z. So make sure you're selecting the object and then press Z to activate the zoom tool. You can zoom in. To zoom out, press the Alt key and click on the object and zooms out. The hand tool. The hand tool is used to move an artboard left, right, and up and down. To activate the hand tool, we simply press H. Make sure you're selecting the artboard and then press H to activate the hand tool. So we can use it to move the artboard up, down, left, and right. That's the hand tool. The transform tool. The transform tool is used when we want to move an object around an artboard. For example, this image of a car, we want to resize it or want to move it around. So click on the image and press Ctrl T to select that image. We can resize this image, or we can also move it around. So we're not moving the whole artboard, we're just moving this particular image. So this is the transform tool. Ctrl Z is used to undo a step that you've done. This is the common shortcuts that you'll be using in Photoshop and in almost all Adobe softwares. So let's say we've done this transform and we'll resize this image, but we're not happy with the way the image is looking. We want to go back to how it was before. We can simply press Ctrl Z to go back to how the image was before. And if you want to go back to the way we transformed it, you can simply press Ctrl Shift Z to go back to redo what we did before. So Ctrl Z to undo and Ctrl Shift Z to redo. Ctrl G. Ctrl G is used to group different layers into a group. So let me show you an example. So last episode I told you that it is best to draw in different layers so that when you make a mistake, it's easy for you to correct those mistakes. So I've drawn this shape in different layers. So I have this one in one layer, this is a different layer, this in a separate layer. So they're all in separate layers. So Ctrl G is used to group all these layers into one group. To use Ctrl G, simply select all the layers. You can click each layer and then click Ctrl to select all the layers, or you can click the first layer and press Shift and then click the last layer to select all the layers. To group them into one layer or into one group or folder, we simply press Ctrl G. That will group them into one folder. So in this folder, we still have them in separate layers. They are still separate, so they are all in separate layers, but we can actually control this group together. We can go into the group and then control each one separately. So we use Ctrl G to group different layers into a folder. We can call it into a group. Ctrl E. Ctrl E is used to flatten or merge multiple layers into one particular layer. The difference between using Ctrl E and Ctrl G is that for Ctrl G, you can still control the individual layers because they are just placed in a folder. But for Ctrl E, the images or the layers are merged into one layer. You can no longer control them individually. To merge multiple layers, you simply select all the layers that we want to merge and then click Ctrl E. That will bring them into one layer. So Ctrl E is used to merge multiple layers into one layer, while Ctrl G is used to put all layers into a folder. So it is best practice to always make a copy of an image or layers before you go ahead and flatten them. Let's say we want to flatten these layers. The best thing to do is to put them into a folder by clicking Ctrl G and then by pasting them into a folder, and then we can make a copy of this folder by pressing Ctrl J. That will make a copy of the folder. So we can switch off this folder. We can also lock it if we wish, and then we can go ahead and then flatten all these layers into one particular layer by clicking Ctrl E. So when we click Ctrl E, let's say we make a mistake in this. Let's say we wanted to clean something, I'll make a mistake here. We can go back to the original one and then bring it back again and then make the correction. But when we clean something here, we have to like redraw them here. But whereas if you make a mistake in the other one, in this one, you can simply remove this particular one that we don't like, and then we can redraw them. Whereas for the flattened one, we have to redraw everything. So it is best practice to make a copy of a group of layers before you flatten them, so that when you make a mistake you can go back to the original one. Once you flatten an object, you can no longer have the original object, you have to redraw them again. It's just like drawing things in one layer as opposed to drawing things in separate layers. Like I told you, it is best to draw in different layers than to draw in one layer. But there are times where you want to put all your layers into one layer, thereby flattening them. But before you flatten, make sure you make a copy of those layers you want to flatten, so that you can go back to the original one and bring them back. So that's the end of this episode on shortcuts that we can use to speed up our works when using Photoshop. Some of these shortcuts can be applicable in other Adobe softwares. So I'll see you in the next episodes. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, hit the button for notification, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.